Welcome to What the Tech, the show that cuts through the noise and tells you what's really going on. Today, we're diving into a story that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. Is it a healthcare revolution, or is it a reckless experiment with your life? Let's get into it.
So let me just ask you that straight up. Think about it. No doctor, no nurse, no human oversight whatsoever. Just you, your medical condition, and an algorithm deciding if you get the medicine you need. And nope, this isn't some futuristic fantasy. It's happening right now.
Okay, so here's the deal. Out in Utah, a startup called WtT has gotten the green light for a pilot program that is a first in the entire country. Their system lets an AI approve prescription renewals for people with chronic conditions. And the part that should really get your attention? It does it completely autonomously. No human in the loop.
Now, of course, there's a story they want you to hear. A very polished, very compelling sales pitch. It's all about innovation, making things more efficient, and better access to care. It's designed to make you feel like this isn't just a good idea, but an inevitable one.
And the star of that sales pitch is this number right here, 99.2%. According to WtT's own internal testing, their AI got it right almost every single time compared to a human doctor. I mean, that sounds incredible, right? Almost perfect. Just hang on to that thought for a minute.
And if that giant number wasn't enough for you, here's the company's co-founder, who is a doctor, by the way, making a claim that is just incredibly bold. He's not just saying it's as good as a doctor. He's saying it's better, that the AI is more thorough than a human doctor could ever be.
So here it is, the whole package. It's going to lower costs, make sure you never miss your meds, help people in rural areas, give overworked doctors a break, and, surprise, surprise, pave the way for more innovation. It sounds like a perfect win-win-win. But you know, everything sounds good on paper. Now let's talk about what they're hoping you don't notice.
All right, enough for the marketing brochure. This is What the Tech, and this is where we pull back the curtain. Because behind that slick presentation, there's a much messier and, frankly, a much more dangerous reality. It's time to talk about what's really going on.
Let's just call this what it actually is. This isn't just innovation. You can't just slap that label on it and move on. This is a live experiment being conducted on actual human beings, people with chronic health problems who rely on their medication to stay stable and healthy. You know, if you're here because you think this kind of tech needs way more scrutiny, then do us a solid and hit that like button and subscribe to What the Tech. Seriously, it helps. And I really want to know what you think. Get in the comments and tell us, would you actually use this service, yes or no?
So let's go back to those big, beautiful claims that WtT and the state of Utah are making. It's time to put them under the microscope and see if they hold up. Let's separate the hype from the reality.
Okay, remember that 99.2% number? Well, it kind of falls apart the second you look at it. Turns out it's based on just 500 cases from urgent care, not the long-term complex world of chronic care. It's not even the right kind of medicine. And the biggest question of all, what about that 0.8%? What happened when the AI got it wrong? Was it a harmless little glitch, or was it a dangerous, potentially fatal mistake? They won't say.
And what about that claim of being infinitely safer than a doctor? Come on, that's not a scientific conclusion. That is a marketing line you put on a slide in a pitch deck for investors. It's based entirely on the company's own internal data. No independent group, no outside researchers, nobody has verified any of this. It's just them grading their own homework.
Now you might be thinking, it's just one pilot program. But you have to understand, this is a classic playbook. It's a strategy, and it's called policy laundering. You find a friendly state, you run a pilot, and you create a precedent. By the time the public or other regulators figure out how risky it is, it's already considered normal. The foot is in the door.
And just take a look at who's actually talking about this. You've got the company that stands to make a ton of money, and you've got the state that wants to look innovative. Now think about who's missing. Where are the independent researchers, the patient advocacy groups, the drug safety experts? You know, the people whose job is literally to ask hard questions and protect patients? Yeah, they're nowhere to be found.
And please make no mistake about this. The stakes here are so much bigger than Utah. This isn't just an experiment. It's designed to be a template, a model for how to push AI into healthcare all across the country, and in the process, change the very nature of medicine.
So, who's supposed to be regulating this? Well, that is the terrifying part. Right now, nobody really knows. Utah says it's just the practice of medicine, so it's their problem. But the FDA might see it as a medical device, which would put it under their control.
And while all the government agencies are pointing fingers at each other, this system is live, with real patients.
This is how it always starts. This is the path to normalization. Step 1. The AI just assists doctors. Low risk. Sounds helpful. Step 2. The AI replaces doctors for simple stuff. That's where we are right now. Next, no human in the loop becomes the standard, cheaper option. And from there, it just expands into diagnosis, into mental health screening. This pilot program isn't the end goal, it's the first domino.
And all of this brings us to the one final question that nobody pushing this technology wants to answer. When the algorithm messes up, and it's not a question of if, but when, who is held responsible? The company? The programmer who wrote the code? The state of Utah? When you take the human out of the loop, you don't just get rid of a doctor. You make responsibility itself just disappear. And that's a price that's way too high to pay.